Okay, so this is blue-black control and standard. This list was floating around, putting up some results in the SCG tournaments over the weekend. We've got main deck Duress, Fading Hope. Notably, the thing you'll see here is there is not a lot of counter magic in this deck because you're leveraging Lier as a source of card advantage. So this says all spells can't be countered. That includes your opponent's spells, but it gives all of the cards in your graveyard flashback. So we have a ton of spot removal and discard spells. And then we have things like Divide by Zero, which are kind of interaction on the stack, but also can be useful if you can't counter things. And something that's really sweet / offensive is if you Fading Hope something early, and you Lier later, with Fading Hope in your bin, if they go to kill your Lier, you can Fading Hope the Lier back to your hand, saving it, which is kinda gas. So let's go ahead and dive on into a few games with this and see how it goes. Mr. Flanders, thanks for the resub. Welcome back. One complaint on the Magic Arena interface. It did not complain that I had a second deck named Blue-Black Control 2 when I named it Blue-Black Control here. Look it, right here. I can name this Blue-Black Control here, but I go into the fucking deck here and I hit done. Or sorry, I have to edit it. Let me edit it. Let me add a card and hit done. You already have a deck with that name. So now I can rename it here, name it number 2, and hit done, and it lets me out. And now I can go back here and name it Blue-Black Control again and have the same name as another deck list down over here. So clearly, whatever system they're using to store deck lists supports multiple things with the same name. But it complains about it when you're inside of the actual deck editor. Which, actually, in general, you shouldn't judge people's code without seeing it. But the implication here is that the code they're using to validate this deck name here is a different function than the code they're using to validate the deck list name inside the deck editor. And ideally, there should just be one function that both of these places call to validate that the deck list name is something that you're okay with. So I don't know what the back end actually looks like, but a well-written piece of software, that is how it would work. You would have one core, is this name something we're okay with function, and then everything would reference that anywhere you change a deck name. Why aren't we playing Epiphany in this? I don't know. This is 100% a net deck. Maybe it should have Epiphany. I don't know. And honestly, that little rant takes me back. A very famous Magic the Gathering online bug for people that are Magic Zoomers and don't recall. A very famous Moto bug was once upon a time, there was a promo version of a card that was bugged on Magic Online, but the regular art version functioned perfectly fine. Which meant that the promo cards had their own code base and the other ones didn't. They weren't just images that referenced card code. It was just like, oh no. Oh no. Think we're supposed to take the tapped land here. It's 11 months, Jabrizi. Welcome back. The Mardu deck did not feel particularly good, and that is why we are done playing it. They simplified one of our company's programs from a 10 gigabyte program to 900 MB. Man, that is an incredible reduction in size. I think we're dead, fam. For reference, I believe by the metrics, this deck has a rancid matchup against mono green. Is my understanding. We're gonna cut these discard spells. We're gonna board in some more removal here. Would I rather have Go Blank or Duress? Probably Duress, honestly, because it's cheaper. I think this is a Graveyard Trespasser matchup. Maybe Trespasser's slightly better than Duress itself. Just because it plays to the board. Could see that. Let's try that. Thanks for the 17 months, Hyde. I appreciate the almost year and a half. Welcome back. I saw some folks using the triple D command, by the way. For one of my regulars that hasn't been around for a little bit, I've started a new YouTube channel that's more YouTube-focused content. It is edited content that's a little bit more concise. It aims to post one deck list per day. It has a deck tech, thoughts on what's good and bad about that deck, and then showcases a couple of matches that really show off what that deck is best at. So if you're looking for more concise Hoaglandia content when you're short on time, it's a great place for that. It will be reusing content from my live streams. So if you're someone that watches everything that I do, it's not the channel for you. But if you're someone that doesn't have time to watch everything and you want like 30 to 40 minute videos per day, that's what that's going to provide. Well, we were hoping to scry into our third land, chat. Nailed it. Never didn't have it. Hey, thanks for the 27 months, Perps. I appreciate you dropping off that prime. Hope your break's going well. We'll be here whenever you come back around. Polly, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. I think we passed so we can loot with this. I think I want this many divide by zeros. It's 21 land light for a controlled deck. Do we not have spell lands? We have 2 Hagra Mauling and 4 Jwari Disruption. So we have 27 lands. We have 6 spell lands. I do not have the children editing videos, no. I had been doing some edited stuff for Pokemon Unite, because long-form content just doesn't work as well for that game. And in the process of doing edited content for Pokemon Unite, I got a process down that's relatively straightforward for producing edited videos with relative speed. It's still a little bit of work, but I'm able to put together the edited video for the Pokemon channel and the Magic channel in less than an hour each day. You're watching match 1, game 2, Lemu. What software am I using? FFmpeg and scripts that automate parts of it. We have copies of Flunk that kill this as well. I use OBS Studio for live recording, but OBS doesn't do editing stuff. How come so many power word kill? I think this spell's great. For reference, again, this is 100% a net deck, chat. We copied it off the internet and we imported it into the deck editor. That being said, you know, if you want to criticize a choice or ask, I would always challenge you, instead of saying, Jeff, why are you playing this card? Instead, tell me what else you would play instead and why you think that other suggestion is better. And then we could have a discussion about it. My body is ready to get blizzard brawled. It's 37 degrees in Utah? Yikes. I took the kids out to the bus this morning to stand with them. And I was cold in my shorts at 55 degrees here in Illinois. Well, I keep forgetting I could do this. Maybe I should have done that last turn. I mean, like, it's good against exactly the cards I've drawn right now. But, like, we have a lot of answers to Toski. Like, even our Fading Hope, our unsummons are, like, pretty good against this thing getting bigger. We have Flunks, we have Soul Shatters. Like, we have answers, we just haven't drawn them this game. Yeah, Toski's also rancid against Meathook Massacre. A power word kill this in response, so that way they can't crew the chariot alone with it. No, I disagree with that, Mascot. Also, like, these aren't in the main deck, and you're playing things like Cletus to gain life. Spot removal in general isn't great against the Dragons deck. So, like, trying to maximize your spot removal in that matchup isn't great. Infernal Grasp is much worse than most people think it is. There was so much hyperbole about that card being the best Doomblade ever printed when it came out. And, like, it's fine, but, like, it's not a control deck card. Our deck's definitely a control deck. Yeah, try and Thoughtseize an aggro deck sometime and let me know how it works out for you. Is our deck playing Meathook Massacre? It's not, actually. Yeah, we're super dead. That, our first match did not inspire confidence, champ. That felt like very typical bad control deck problems. Answers didn't line up, didn't have a way to close things out. We're gonna play for an hour or so and see if that's the average. Feels more like the average case, but that definitely felt pretty terrible. This exact list put up a number of results in the SCG tournaments over the weekend. That being said, this archetype is one of the worst performing archetypes according to the metrics that we have on Untapped. It is a deck that sees a lot of play and has a piss poor win rate to show for it. Yeah, Davis played this in the SCG tournament over the weekend. Anything looks... Any deck can look good on YouTube. I don't know that I agree with this is a Jund deck as a comparison because we really don't have threats to be a Jund deck. Like, we've got Lier and Xanathar, but like they're not super efficient. Maybe I have to play it more. At a glance, I don't know that I like the Jund comparison, but we haven't really played games, and maybe it'll feel different once I played games with it. Want to hit our land drops here. Make our way up to these. They paused earlier. It feels like they could have a snakeskin that they're holding on to. This does let them crack their clue this turn, since they have an extra mana. Oh, they missed it. Opponent just doesn't want to be clueless, chat. Oh, it is probably Lair of the Hydra holding priority for them. Good shout. And like, this is kind of clunky, right? Like, with the inscription of abundance staring me in the face, Lier is basically a 6-drop. And this is again, like, it feels like we're just kind of getting thoroughly outclassed here, huh? The Lair of the Hydra holding priority on 1 mana is extra frustrating because X literally can't be 0 on this, so it's not legal to activate. Like you actually can't activate it. The fact that we missed our land on 6 probably means we're just dead here. Unnatural growth is super scary. Yeah, I could bounce something. Oh, where is downboard? I can bounce something in the chump block, but then Lair of the Hydra gets us. All right, so far 0-3 against mono green. None of the games have felt particularly close. Okay, third land means we have a real hand here. I think I just give them the card and get rid of this for the sake of tempo. If they offer this trade, we'll take it here. Wizard bro. At least if they want to brawl us, they to discard a card to do it. Not quite the Chariot counterspell we were hoping for, but also this was one of the decks that performed well over the weekend in SCG, Esper Seal, so not because of us here. We're a pretty Oglandia is a pretty small fish in the Magic pond, all things considered. Also, like, people love garbage decks like this one, so like if it's anywhere if people think something like this is remotely playable, they tend to play the crap out of it. These types of terrible control decks are things that Magic players typically love. Accidentally played PV's mono green standard deck from Worlds in the historic queue, and one more that I lost before I realized I was in the wrong format. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people play pretty casual decks in historic, especially when there's no like upcoming tournaments around. And honestly, the mono green deck's probably not terrible into Jeskai control. It generates a lot of advantage. you calling my Hamzan company life gain deck casual? I am, in fact, you dirty, filthy casual. All right, we're at 22, and we're going to get to play a Lier while we have a bunch of mana up. Things are looking pretty good for our hero here. I'm going to hold that as a reset button. Yeah, unnatural growth has become a staple in the opponent's archetype for people that haven't been keeping up. Card's like $10 in paper. That doesn't surprise me. A card like this is huge casual appeal. That would be bad. It's uncounterable, chat. That's why we play counter spells that also do other things in this deck. Nah, I don't think we need to verdict here. I think I want to get some hits in with Trespasser. Yeah, they have like Cadillac in their hand here still. Got environmental sciences here. All of our options kind of suck, fam. I guess let's start here. We just pass for now and like divide by 0 into Mascot Exhibition, I think. Just have so much card advantage. Okay. So we'll bounce this, untap Verdict. We're supposed to grab the Search of Land there. I think I'm going to hold Lier back in case they have a creature to crew plus a protection spell. Feels like we're far enough ahead that I can take a little bit of a conservative play here. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have Power Word Kill still available. Yeah, I feel like Lier being symmetrical on can't be countered is just because they're like, we really don't want people playing all their counter spells back out of their graveyard a second time. It's like a mercy rule, basically. The one was like, all right, that would be a bridge too far. The card advantage from Lier when it gets going, it seems really strong here. Hey, thanks for the tier 3 and for the 35 months in. Yeah, welcome back. Bye, friends. So I have enough mana to Field of Ruin, the Lair of Hydra, and also Divide by 0 this turn, so that's nice. You can do this for 7 or 4. In fact, when I mouse over the card here, you can see it shows it twice. I'm gonna go ahead and divide this rather than take the hit. Oh, and they cracked the clue so they can't replay it now. Oh, yeah, this is great for us now. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Staying alive, staying alive. Do, 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 do. Oh, no! They drew the land, chat. Rude. I was thinking I wanted to do this turn, but I actually think I don't. I think we just pass. Quintivus. Lier's the best card in Standard. It might be up there. It's definitely a super powerful effect when you get to play it like this. Oh my god. Wait. Oh, that worked. Oh, that does work. Sweet. It's not countering its returning it to its hand. I thought I needed to let it resolve and then bounce it, but no, that's good. We're good. We're good. We cool. We cool, chat. Everybody calm down. This isn't remand. What is templating consistency anyways? It's overrated is what it is. Like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. Hey, Dystaxia, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate the continued support. Welcome back. Good morning, good morning. Kill you. Kill you. Draw land. Play you. Is Xanathar good? I don't know. It seems potentially good. It's also just like, he's also just like a big boy, right? I mean, mono green might be a good matchup. I actually don't know. If we win this game, it'll be the first game we've taken off of this archetype. Sedge. For the 33 months, Juggalos. Unbanned Brainstorm and reprint Epiphany. Now. Mono Green's a good matchup with Shadow Verdict. I don't know. They have a lot of grind through sweepers, right? Like, I guess 2 Shadows Verdicts this game and they're still in it. Hey, PTO, thanks for the prime. So my favorite deck to play in Standard, probably Esper Witch. Esper Witch is a pretty good one. I'm gonna take the Fading Hope here, because I can kill these tokens and get my Scry on here. Hey, glad you've been enjoying the YouTube stuff. I appreciate the support. Make sure to take a peep at my new YouTube venture here. All right, we should. I feel like we're firmly into garbage time at this point, right? I think there was a small chance. They could have been in this game still, but after these last couple, they should be. Yeah, they should be solidly out of it. Yeah, and I think at this point, I actually do just leave the basic forest on top of their deck. Oh, they're just dead to this, right? We just kill their blockers when we go. I don't think Lier solves any of the problems that Esper Witch has. You shouldn't ask yourself, does my deck want to play this card? You should ask yourself, does this card solve a problem that my deck has? Maybe I'm supposed to take 4 here and just pass with Divide by 0 up, play the Clearwater Pathway. We're in an okay spot. This Divide by 0 will keep us from going to hit this turn. And it'll fish us up a way to hit our next land drop. They have Snakeskin Veil here. We're getting a little bit of trouble. I think the land naturally here is nice. They have a fight spell here. I get into a little bit of trouble, but the upside of having Lier untapping with Lier is just so high. I think we just jam it here. Well, golly. Yeehaw! Wolfpack leader should have spent more time in school, chat. Why would the opponent be feeling frustrated, chat? They're playing Magic the Gathering, a game that you play for fun. Are we not having fun yet? I'll do it again, I swear. Crunch. Lier is big. This is all I've got energy. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Lier is quite the powerful engine beast, for sure. Is untapped on. Anybody else having issues with untapped? Alright, so I have enough mana to attack with all of these, play Mascot Exhibition, play Power Word Kill. Alright, we're 1-1 against mono green. Is there anything more peak control deck than playing Magic Arena for 50 minutes and being at the exact same spot on the ladder as where you started? That's like the control deck experience, right? How long you been at this? Almost an hour. Where are you at? Exactly where we started. I do feel smart. That's true. Lier is some strong, big brain energy. Wait, it's all mono green? Always has been .meme. Alright, hopefully we hit the land next turn and get to go blank them. We get a scry here off the Fading Hope. I'm gonna make a point to be snacking more while we stream chat, because going back through looking for match highlights, I am far luckier and have far better games of Magic Arena while I am eating based on the anecdotal evidence I have so far. So very clearly the secret to success is always be eating while playing. You think Cleric Pod can be adapted to Historic and not get totally dumpstered? Nope, not even a little. Deck is way too slow and fair. All right, cue the carnival music. You stop calling shots while you're eating so the shuffler can't use it against you. That's some big brain thinks right there. Hey chat, wanna see a trick? This is kind of gross. It just ain't right, chat. It's a little mean. It's really hard to lose when you untap with Lier. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, I'm gonna field a rune this. So I'm gonna scry with Fading Hope here. So if I'm gonna scry, I want to shuffle first. I think I'm in for a piece of spot removal. That's like 2 pieces of spot removal, really, right? So if we do this, and then we pass the turn, it flips back to night, right? It's a pretty sweet interaction. Hey, Adamant, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. I like your rebrand. I think it's very smart to pull MTG out of your channel name. Having a game neutral channel name is big smart. Discard, you mean put into my other hand? Well, I mean, I only get to play it once now, right? The mousing over Lier, wondering what our out is here. There isn't an out opponent. All of the opponent's removal spells depend on having creatures in play. So if we just like constantly hold up removal spells, they just can't get rid of Lier. Listen, chat, my opponent is allowed to concede at any point here, okay? The only reason they are still suffering is because they haven't chosen to end things. Oh, Adam, I haven't. This is our 3rd match with the deck, and we've literally only played against mono green. I do think a lot of the blue-black decks that have been built and played so far were pretty different from this. This is more of a discard-based mid-rangey deck with like this powerful card advantage engine, as opposed to like a counterspell sweeper-based control deck. Like a lot of the blue-black decks, part of the reason why I wanted to play this one was a lot of the blue-black decks I'd seen in this format before this were very different than this, right? They were like Meat Hook Massacre decks with lots of counterspells in them. And what this is doing is very different than that, it feels like. We like have a couple of sweepers out of the sideboard here, but at the core, we're like a spot removal deck that's like looking to sit on one of these card advantage engines in the late game. Splash for Verse sounds interesting. You would have to give up Field of Rune, probably, but that might be an okay trade-off. The pathways and the fact that we have a blue-white slow land seems reasonable. Yeah, Cletus is one of those cards that plays out a lot better than it reads on paper to start. Sure. One of those ones you read through it and you're like, it 100% reads like EDH garbage. Yeah, exactly that. BT Dubs, if there are any subs in the audience that would be interested in playing Unite later that are Masters rank, I think we need one more for a 5th for my session this afternoon. We're going to be playing from like 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Central. So that's in about 2.5 hours from now. If you would like to jam, pop in the subs Discord server and send me a DM there. I don't think I want to cut the Xanathars. Xanathar kind of serves as an additional Lier in that it's a body that sits on the table that also generates card advantage. I mean, it's a sweet card, but I think it's more than just sweet, right? It is a little bit tricky to get full 5s to play in the afternoon. Those darn gerbs. Frowning on people playing Pokemon Unite while they work. Am I supposed to murder the pack leader while they're tapped out here? Probably. They have Chariot. We get to Fading Hope the token to Scry. That's actually pretty good, right? So you get to go ahead and drop this, and then we can Xanathar next turn. The question is this a land or a spell? This might be a land, honestly. I think it is. Hey, Zan, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream today. Actually, just had someone link me your blue-red Delver list with Demi Lich. Might kick the tires on that later this week. Looks sweet. Ren in game 3. They're not dead just yet. Come on now. We can hit a decent string of cards off the top of their deck. 8. All right, chat, we have 2 different decks we could have good top decks off of here. Let's see if we have some ounce of professionalism or if we're going to brick from 2 decks simultaneously. Shadow's Verdict off the top of our deck is obviously the best draw we could have.
We will help you find safe ground.
Let us fully put them in the ground. Oh no, chat! Oh, that's fine. We don't have basic lands in play anyways. Let's see, our lack of snow basics is biting us here. Okay, we're popping off here a little bit with the Kingpin. Okay, and then we skillfully have a land on top of their deck. I like it. I like it. That's so gross, Pixie. Sorry, I have to deal with that. Let the tree folk hit the board. Let the tree folk hit the board. Let the tree folk hit the board. Opponent made the classic mistake of putting good cards into their deck. Yep. Yep. Think my frog Hemoth is chump blocking here. Come on, Shadow's Verdict. Come on, Shadow's Verdict. I kind of want a 3rd Verdict in the board. This matchup seems much easier when we draw a copy of that. Yikes. Oh, unfortunately, we have to chump block with Xanathar next turn, right? So we're probably just done here. Thanks for the follow, Fire HS, if you're still here. Appreciate it. I don't think we can activate Cletus because then the layer of the Hydra kills us, chat.
Into the trees. They prepare for war.
They prepare for war. We could still top deck a Shadow's Verdict here. If they attack with everything, we have to double jump, yeah. Would Lier get us out of it? I've only got 2 removal spells in there. One of which doesn't kill a tree folk. Damn it, chat. They found the attack with all button. If we just had one piece of spot removal in our hand here, we'd be in such a good spot. So this attack is good from the opponent. Making me have it is smart. I do not have it yet. Confirmed not having it. Eight. So if I flip this... If I flip this, I still have mana to sweep the board, right? Alright, we tried. Game 3 on the plate. Not really a whole lot we could do there. We gave it our all, but the top of our deck just did not cooperate. When it rains, it pours, fam. When it rains, it pours. Yeah, the fact that we had outs all the way through the end of that is kind of impressive for the deck. Ran bad and still had play till the end. Is good to see. Yeah, it's a very different take on blue black. I can see Duress being okay here. I put in a couple of the werewolves, but I could see a couple Duress being worthwhile to have. Our deck was jealous we were drawing off the opponent's deck so much. Yeah, it's probably accurate. It's like threw a temper tantrum. Fine, I'll give you lands. You like the opponent's deck so much, draw spells off of it. Hey, J-Lope, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. Or this morning, here in the cornfield still. The alt art is meant to resemble D&D monster manual things. They're playing around our mastery so perfectly, chat. It's big sedge. That's fine. We'll mastery and then we'll untap and we'll Xanathar here. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. This gives them a window to resolve something, but I think that's fine. If they can't kill Xanathar, untapping with him should be big work. Yeah, no Ren here is great for us. Super happy to just see a chariot. Okay, well, now we do this, right? Who do we do first? I think it's Lier, right? Maybe it's Xanathar. I can go either way. Our graveyard's pretty good, though. Let's do this to start. Xanathar is harder to remove. Yeah, it doesn't die to a brawl. Boys are back in town. They're drawing lots of cards. The boys are back in town. They're flashing back the yards. Do 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 do. Woohoo! You made this? No. No, I made this.
I will protect Innistrad's forests. The entire forest is an army.
Our tree folk need to rise up, chat. Our opponent made the classic mistake of putting good cards in their deck. And now we've got them right where we want them. Oh gosh! And Renin 7 fills our graveyard for Lier, chat. Oh, it's so good. Why is it so good? Yes. Yeah, I played my land already for the turn because I intend to leave a land on top of their deck if we get to one. They've got some snake skin on the beholder, chip. Have a land. It was, in fact, 3 Veils. Alright, the first match against Mono Green was rough, but when we hit our land drops and play our Bomb Diggities, it feels much better, believe it or not. That's not quite a Fate Seal, but it's like pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, the creature type is Beholder. Blue-green deck with Lier and Ren. I think you probably need a splash at a minimum. A lot of the blue-green cards probably aren't good enough to be flashing back. Yeah, it seems like an excellent Xanathar deck. If you're into casting Xanathar and Lier, this deck seems great. Patrick. I think the funniest thing I saw yesterday was the alt-right rep MTG tweeted Happy Columbus Day to push back on it being rebranded to Indigenous People Day because Columbus was an awful human being. And she spelled Columbus wrong in her tweet. It's like, just, you know. It's very, very amusing. That's today. Yes, yesterday was Indigenous People Day. Formerly Columbus Day. Yeah, Biden did an EO, so we've rebranded that for a majority of sane, reasonable people. Columbus was always a really stupid thing to celebrate for a variety of reasons. Marjorie Taylor something, right? Is the rep from Georgia that's a psychopath? Just like full conspiracy theories deep in the QAnon. Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's the one. Yeah, that idiot. Whose initials are MTG. Which is confusing a little bit in this space here specifically. But the upside to her initials being MTG is it did get Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to acknowledge that Magic the Gathering exists and that she likes the majority of us. So that's a fun upside, right? Hey, thanks for the 7 months, Hydro Farmer. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Alright, we hit the land here. You'll love to see it. I think we get Kalitas going here. Cletus! Get in here, Cletus! It's not a terrible pickup. Definitely want to kill the ram. So there's a land. So I think we just go blank here. And we have Power Word kill up, and then hopefully we spike the untapped land for the Kingpin next turn. I think I would say this card's probably good in this matchup because the opponent's deck wants to be flipping at day tonight anyway, so at least we get a little bit of advantage when they do that with us. It's for the Biddy Sheriff. Seems like any standard deck needs to have serious logging capabilities to get through these forests. Oh yeah, that's actually a really good observation. Cletus can put it back to day. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. I should have let them go through here. Pain. We took an extra 3 damage we didn't have to take. So they get to kill Cletus here, unfortunately, but I think this is right rather than taking damage. My body is ready to see double Chariot here. Alright, single Chariot, we take those. The Duress forces things back to day, which is good for us, though. Hey, Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Thank you for the almost 4 years. By the time you hit that 4-year mark, we're gonna have sweet new sub badges. Yeah, the problem with the idea of divvying up the... There's two core problems with divvying up the United States based on R&D territories, is that the United States isn't cleanly divided left versus right by geographical areas. It's mostly divided left versus right in rural areas are very red and metropolitan areas are very blue, which is most states. And then the other flip side of that coin is Republican states would go broke because they are largely the welfare states that take in way more federal funding than they pay in. States that largely vote blue almost entirely pay more in federal taxes than they take back in federal subsidies for things. Maybe we should leave a couple of Duresses in here rather than these. The Duresses have been fine. It makes the curve a little prettier. I don't hate that idea. I don't know that I want all four. Maybe we cut like a Deluge. Maybe I don't want all of these cards in the aggro matches. Let's try this. Thanks for the 4 years, Fredwick. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Yeah, population density is more indicative of red/blue in general, is correct. It might be right to cut. I think you leave Cletus in, obviously, in the mono green matchup, but against the werewolf deck that likely has 4 of the Liberators, it might be right to trim these. Why is this Duress so good? Why is it so good, chat? What if we take the Arlen and then just Fading Hope the Ranger class token, I think is the plan. This was a great draw to match their top deck. Now I just want to draw some lands. I think we just do this to get through the Snakeskin Veil. Missing our land drop here and letting the werewolf deck get tonight for free probably means we're dead. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Hey, Hobart. Thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm going to cut a Cletus to bring in the 4th Duress. I mean, it can be both the existence of the Senate and the House being capped that are bad. Two things can be varying degrees of bad. I would agree with you, the Senate is a bigger issue for democracy than the House, though. Jwari Disruption is definitely better on the play than the draw. Do I just divide by 0 here? That's probably just Disruption. I would argue that the Senate is not working as it was designed because the filibuster wasn't included in the original design. The Senate was explicitly designed to pass legislation with 51 votes, and it does not do that because of the filibuster. So I would challenge your working as designed offering. think we just flunk this. So, what Cyrix said there is something that you hear very commonly. That's one of those things where, on the surface level, when you say it, it sounds right. But when you look at it in practice and really think about it critically, it doesn't actually do what you're hoping for it to accomplish, which in this case is term limits. Term limits don't fix any of the fundamental problems that the United States has. What term limits would do is create a revolving door from the Senate to people looking to turn that into a profit as lobbyists past the point, and it would create more inexperienced people inside of there. What I actually think would be much better than term limits is there should be an upper age limit to holding positions of power in the United States. We have a floor where you have to be 25, 30, or 35 for House, Senate, or President, and there should be a ceiling at the top, the top two. You don't let people who are leaving a restaurant order food for the customers that are coming in after them. So people who aren't going to be, it should just be retirement age is what it should be. Once you hit retirement age, you should not be able to be in the House, Senate, or President. Thanks for the follow, Richard. In my opinion. Yeah, we really need one of our payoffs here, huh? Yeah, the Supreme Court's another mess, right? Like when they originally envisioned lifetime appointments for the Supreme Court, people were dead by 50 most of the time, right? Like what was the average life expectancy in the early 1800s, late 1700s? Anybody know? Anybody give me an actual stat? Was it not even the 50s? Was it only 30s? Was it that low? 56. Around 50. Okay, so my gut instinct of about 50 is accurate. And our average life expectancy today is much higher, right? It's like we're pushing over 70. I think we've died, fam. That's true too. Life expectancy, like most statistics, is a complicated stat where you technically want to say what is average life expectancy given you reach a certain age to start. Because infant mortality rate is much lower today than it was back then. Asking chat for demographic statistics the same as asking them for their favorite number. What if they don't fire up the... Are we above 4? Because they fire up the hall, and then we bounce 1 and we take 4? We might have been above 4 there. We might have been able to live there. We were at 6. Yeah, we could have gone to 2. So 28 months, Dougals. Welcome back. Thanks for the follow, G-Blue. For people that are new to the channel like G-Blue, welcome and thanks for hanging out today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. We do Magic for a few hours every morning. We play other variety games and lots of stuff in the afternoons, where I've been on a Pokemon Unite kick recently. That's the new Pokemon MOBA that's been out. As you might have gathered from the discussion for the last, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, I do talk about things like politics on stream on occasion. It's not the entirety of the stream, but it is something that we talk about when it comes up kind of organically. I think it's important to talk about things like that because a lot of the issues that we have in the world today are from people making topics like that taboo. The world would be a better place if people communicated more freely. You basically have to splash press a pick. We had played a blue-black deck list a little bit. That Splash Prismari command is a relatively clean answer. God, this thing's about to destroy us, huh? I think we have to divide this by 0, and then we hope to rip a Black Source to Bloodchief this next turn. Thanks for the sub, Darth. I don't even know that we were ranting. We're just kind of talking about stuff. If this thing hits me, it's going to pick the adversary back up. We're really good at missing our land drops in this 27 land deck, Chip. Okay. Alright, so you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do. Finally, for Mr. Nine's recommendation, enjoy the decks and conversation. My 2 cents that any real fixes for the U.S. have started at state levels. A lot of the problem in the federal government arises from how politics in states work. That's definitely true. Part of the reason why a lot of the issues that we have taken over are state level things, and some of those could be fixed at the federal level, but it's definitely easier to fix a lot of them at the state level. It's gonna be really, let's use the word interesting to see how all of the gerrymandering shakes out. So I think we just plan to take a hit for a turn here, and we set up Cletus into Sciences, and then this lets us Lier with +2 mana next turn. So we'll be able to both Bloodchief's Thirst and Fading Hope next turn. Opponent deck looks sweet. I wonder what their blue splash is for. Maybe counterspells out of the sideboard? Moonveil Regent giving us the business here. I mean, it could realistically be for Epiphany, yeah. Send this back from whence it came. This means if they want to draw 2 cards here, they have to lose their dragon. This is a lot of cards, chat. Yes, it does make mana of any color. Oh no! Sentinel gets to start taking cards out of my bin, fam. Yikes. Oh, no. Yikes. Yikes. Yeah, this seems difficult. I guess if I deluge into a piece of removal we can kill these, right? So I need to do that now. I might be dead. They have this, and they get 1/1 counters on things. I don't really have strong opinions on deck building stuff about this deck. This is a carbon copy of a deck list from an SCG tournament. So we're just trying to play it to get a feel for what it was to start. Yeah, definitely did. Thanks for the follows, Ichi. I feel like our Duresses are probably bad here. We have a lot of creatures. A lot of their non-creatures we don't really seem to care about. Pull up Verdicts out of the sideboard. Go blank stock, great. What do I want for my last couple of slots here? Maybe it's just Malevolent Hermit. This can counterspell Showdown, and it trades early with some of their other cheaper things, like their 3/2. Let's try this. Zombie, thanks for the prime. Ooh, chat. Zenshi made us exactly 70,000 followers. Thanks for that. It's like an almost big number. Hashtag meaningless metrics. I think that was, as someone who's in the industry, looking at people's understanding of like what really matters on Twitch, the number of people when the Twitch leaks happened with people's incomes being shown, and people are like, Jeff doesn't have a lot of followers, I don't understand how he makes an income, where people really think that follower count is something that's super meaningful. And while it's a neat number to look at, I always say meaningless metrics when we talk about it, because it really doesn't turn into anything super tangible. I think we just have to bottom any non-lands here, unfortunately. Well, yeah, and not only is following free, but following. So it depends on your scale. So when you hit a certain viewer count, the critical mass of viewers can really turn into meaningful ad revenue, but the amount of viewers you need to have meaningful ad revenue on Twitch is pretty high. Like, to make a living off ads alone on Twitch, you'd probably would need to have a rough estimate, like maybe in the 2,000 to 3,000 range, you start to see livable wage off of Twitch ads. But most people don't do that. So all except the very top of Twitch ad revenue is pretty unattainable for income. It's not a streamer metric. It gives possibility for an advertiser for audience size. So advertisers that are idiots will ask what your follower count is. The metric that advertisers care about that understand the industry are average concurrent viewer count and total watch time on your channel. For example, there are lots of cases of people who have really high follower counts because of some of the games that they've streamed. Because of some of the games that they stream, but they don't have a lot of average concurrent viewer count. Do you manually run ads on Twitch regularly? I don't, because they don't pay a meaningful amount of money at my viewer count. Twitch ads pay significantly less than YouTube. Yeah, I think I like Cletus into Soul Shatter here. And then that sets us up for Lier with a Fading Hope next turn. Yeah, and there's lots of ways to basically bot your follower count in ways that aren't meaningful. Honestly, Croakies might not even make very much off of Twitch ads because I don't know how often he runs them. You have to actually be running Twitch ads to make money off of it. And a lot of people don't bother. I watch his content with some consistency, but not enough to know what his ad density looks like. If they're smart, they're taking our bounce spell here. Yeah, everyone has pre-rolls. You can't turn those off. Smart advertisers ask what the average disposable income of your viewers is. So I know you said Keck W there at the end, but one of the metrics that advertisers do ask for is what do your average demographics look like? Because there's been a number of studies done that show that people in like the 25 to 35 bracket tend to have the most spending power on average when it comes to advertiser influence, is my understanding. I am contractually obligated to not give you an exact number, but I will say that Raid Shadow Legends pays the best out of any sponsored content you could ever possibly do. I would give you a number if I was allowed to, but I'm not allowed to. I think I want extra Lier more than I want a Hermit here, and this can flash back. Also, for the record, I actually really like Raid Shadow Legends as a game. I basically beat everything there is to beat in Raid Shadow Legends. I played a ton of it. A lot of choices here. Am I just supposed to get Lier down? The problem is the showdown's about to pop off. The fact that they've got another Sun Gold Sentinel coming down here is also awful. Yeah, I think Lier and Hope is it, but next turn's not going to be great for us. Oh, vomit. Oh, and the Warsinger's going to get Goldspan back. Yeah, gross. They dumpstered us. Sun Gold Sentinel. If our Sun Gold Sentinel. His magic page release. Wizards of the Coast is like too small of a company for me to work with. I only work with like real gaming organizations directly, like Riot Games and the Pokemon Company. Pew, 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 pew. That's decent. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. WotC doesn't sponsor me, I sponsor WotC. Hey, congrats on making Mythic. GG's, good luck on the rest of your laddering. Your deck's sweet. I like the Sun Gold Sentinel seems really good right now. I like the inclusion of that a lot. All right, chat, when you have 3 Duresses in your opener and they're all going to be live against the mono green deck, this format is very silly. I think I'm taking the unnatural growths. They're kind of scary. The Snakeskin Veil is gonna be an issue down the line, but I think the growth's gotta go. Snakeskin Veil's a problem for future Jeff. Yeah. Maybe I am supposed to take the Veil here and just, like, use the Divide by Zeros to tempo the unnatural growths to hell and back. What? I didn't have an untapped land, Darth. This is a tapped land. Deal. Everything worked out better than expected. And so it is, in fact, so good for us as a good descriptor. The chat thought we were casting Duress. Little did they know we were casting Mind Rot. Be very quiet. We're hunting mono green. Oh, yeah, I should have let it flip tonight. Good call. Send this one back from whence it came again. This matchup's felt all right when we draw lands. And if they have a Blizzard Brawl here, we're probably dead. Yikes, that's also not good for us. Alright, YOLO. I don't mind that they had it, chat. I mind that they made me wait. Kill me faster next time, please. Kill me faster next time, please. My heart drops every time mono green hovers over my creatures. Yep. Mood. Big mood. My thoughts on Go Blank. I think it is a great tool against Memory Deluge decks. Being able to generate card advantage and also shut off their potential to recover from that card disadvantage is very powerful. It also seems very important in the Lier mirror match. Wiping your opponent's graveyard out so their Lier is worse later is good. I'm kind of with you, Sentient. I think the people who talk about Chariot and Renin 7 being the green card that's too good are really off base, and Blizzard Brawl is actually the best thing about the mono green deck. Yeah, the Cleric deck is great. And if you hear me say the Cleric deck is great and you're wondering what I'm talking about, that means you haven't checked out the new Daily Deck Digest. It was the first deck we highlighted on that channel when I kicked it up a few days ago. Definitely worth checking out there. No plays for the first 2 turns, bodes well for us. Yeah, without Blizzard Brawl, the opponent's archetype... What's the best way to say it? The mono green deck getting worse removal by splashing a color is so ass backwards based on the color pie. Yeah, in a way, what I'm about to say is almost assuredly gonna get taken out of context and misquoted. But in a way, Blizzard Brawl is the brainstorm of mono green. It's this very, like, unassuming looking card that's actually the reason the deck can function. It's a little greedy to bottom the Cletus there, but I really wanted an actual land. To the 16 months, just a victim. Welcome back. I wanna rock for the 18th month sub. Thanks for the 1.5 years. Welcome back. I would recommend against playing Test of Talents into mono green. That's some big I'm gonna spell pierce the Grawl deck energy because I hate Ember Cleave. I think I do this because it's resource efficient. The Sculptor. I'm thinking of crewing the Chariot. Do they have another one? Alright, Mr. Kingpin, do your thing. No blocks. Enjoy your free cat from your Cadillac. Oh no! Oh no, chat! Oh no! Everything went so much worse than expected, chat. Oh, it's just a man. Look what they did to my boy. He was so young, so innocent. Thanks for the 40 months, Sal. Welcome back. Alright, I'll do it again, I swear. This worked out so incredibly well last turn, chat. It can't possibly go wrong again. What's going on, Electric Titan? Thanks for the Prime. Welcome to the channel this morning. So I know we usually only play decks for like 2 hours or so, but I think I'm just going to do a long session with this deck rather than starting a third today. The first deck was kind of a trash fire. It was only about an hour, so this one's been fun and fine. So I think we're just going to play this one for like 3 hours. Enjoying our sesh so far. Shit! If they come out of this tank and play a removal spell, I might lose my mind. I might lose my mind if there's a removal spell after they finish tanking here. 3 Cletus away. Well, I'm only playing 2 Cletus. Oh, chat. Moments before the disaster, chat. Goodbye, friends. Yeah, I think Cletus is a fine craft. That card plays out very reasonably. It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. Do 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 do. Mono green opponent made the classic mistake here, chat, of putting good cards in their deck, so now we get to play them. Yeah, Kingpin's like a turn cycle away from garbage time at any point. Just buries them. No, yeah, you just get to keep playing off the top of their deck until the end of turn. Yeah, to be fair, we did rip the second Kingpin to get out of it. Yeah, maybe we'll have convinced our opponent to sideboard out their good cards for this third game. Johnny B's gonna be on the next level, champ. Landfall was reprinted in Zendikar, Riska. Zendikar was 5 sets ago. The oldest set in current standard has Landfall in it. Jessup made this deck? Well, whoever made it hadn't filed for the NFT, chat, so I'm pretty sure I own all rights to it now. Dibs. Listen, chat. You wouldn't download a card, don't download a deck. Net decking is stealing. I love the smell of mist land drops in the morning. Yeah, I'd be fine with an Enigmatic run back, J-Ray, for sure. Yeah, you can skip the form on that one if you want. How many years off do we think are we from like 3 printing a working vehicle? Like maybe not like a full-size vehicle, maybe like a go-kart? We can't possibly be that far off, right? You think it's 20 years? I'd bet I'd put money on less than that. Yeah, if I was a gambling man, and I play Magic the Gathering, so I'm obviously a gambling man, I would say I'd bet 5 to 10. Apophis, thanks for the 7 months. Welcome back. They've already 3D printed vehicles. Just depends on the size of your printer. Oh, that's neat. Okay, so I'm gonna power word kill this, right? I'm gonna Soul Shatter it to play around Snakeskin Veil, because I don't want them to have a Death Toucher to fight my Kingpin. I just want my Kingpin uncontested. Oh, but it didn't include the engine, drivetrains, or batteries. Okay, so not everything. Listen, I guess it depends on what your definition of it is, then. I don't want to kill this. It gives them extra mana. It's probably fine. Everything minus the motor and battery can be printed. You do tires? Can you do tires too? Can you 3D print rubber? Neat. Science is cool, chat. And in that vein, make sure you get vaccinated if you haven't already. Science is great. Lean into it. So, I had a Xanathar Brawl deck, but like the I'm gonna steal all your stuff Brawl decks are really just kind of dry, and I couldn't bring myself to play it. The opponent's turn to stumble and die there. Up, down, the ladder's like a jump rope. Doot, 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 doot. It's been a while since we've played a deck like this, but the psychological bias of these decks like this blue-black deck is always sweet. Like, I think we're like exactly 50% on win rates with this deck for this session, but it feels great. Yeah, we're 3-3 now, but the deck feels great because the amount of time we've spent winning is way higher than the amount of time we've spent losing. We've only spent like 30 minutes out of the last 2 hours losing, and we've spent like 90 winning. It's a good ratio, chat. Yes, when you don't win a little bit, you win by a lot. Good power trip style deck for sure. This becoming more popular, if not for us. I actually don't know what this deck's Izzet matchup is like. We haven't played against it yet. Hopefully this person's playing blue-red and we can find out a little bit. They are not. Cletus! Get in here, Cletus! Got a Duress. Goodbye, Inscription. Interesting that they decided to hold the adversaries instead of jamming. Kind of, I would have headed to the Space Jam last turn if I was them. Yes, they are in fact just a mid-range deck. There's no such thing as a main board. Listen, I'll main my boards if I want to main my boards, Dayson. What you actually mean? Inscription seems like gas in their deck, huh? God, Graveyard Trespasser is so good against us. All right, we did it, fam. We did it. All right, so we're gonna power word kill this, discard Bloodchiefs, play our Bomb Diggity. Victory is in the eye of the beholder, chat. Hey, don't have a removal spell, opponent. Don't do it. Have a heart. We're on with the second Trespasser. We're on stone cold nothing if we lose the Kingpin here. Oh baby, oh baby. What a tilter, chat. What? Wait. Do I Field of Rune them so I can try and get a different spell off the top of their deck? I don't know if this is the correct play, but it's certainly the content play. We are here to make content, chat. Oh, why is he so good, chat? Why is he so good? Nom 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 nom. Delicious. Oh, Xanathar is she? Why is she so good? So long, friendo. Soul Shatter sounds great. They have flashback stuff of their own, so Graveyard Trespasser sounds good. Duress seems mediocre. I know this exiles their graveyard, but I'm bringing in something else that does that, so I think this is fine. Yeah, Trespasser. Trespasser seems great. She is gorgeous, chat. Gorgeous. Is Fading Hope not great? I guess Fading Hope protects my things from removal. It's probably fine. Let's trim one. Let's trim that one. And going down to 3 of those seems fine here. I think Lier provides some similar card advantage to Xanathar, so I don't know that we need a third Xanathar because we also have Liers. The Xanathar wiki calls Xanathar a he. Alright, I'm just gonna call it a beholder. It is a big, beautiful beholder, chat. Gaze upon it and appreciate its beauty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, as they say. Yeah, that's a good observation too. Memory Deluge technically means we have more threat density than it looks like on paper. Help! Help! I'm under duress! I like this Duress artwork, but I've already purchased the borderless for a different Duress artwork, so I'm pot committed to that one. Pot committed to the Duress I already have in borderless. Of my 40 copies of Duress, I have already purchased a borderless for some of them. I agree that's not very cash money of me, chat, but it's how I feel. Oh man, and if they go to kill Trespasser here, we can make them discard the card and then Fading Hope it back to hand. That Duress art makes me feel like I need a safe word, something like creature. Oh, yeah, taking the Duress is probably smarter, you're right. Oh man, chat, just... The Fading Hope is face up, chat. The Fading Hope is face up. Oh, friendo. See, chat, I'm a giver. I was just saving them 2 points of life there. What's the reason for no creatures? Or for no planeswalkers. We don't really need planeswalkers. Our card advantage engines generate way more card advantage. Lier and Xanathar are like a metric ton of cards, chat. Alright, I'm gonna attack with this and just pass here. And then when they go to go blank us again next turn, not only has this flip, I'll just flashback Deluge in response. Lier and Xanathar are both very good. Lier and Xanathar are both very good. Well, poop. Yeah, there aren't any, like, Teferi Hero of Dominarias in the standard. Are there any playable Planewalkers? Lilith is very good. I think she is quite reasonable. Lilith's also a card that excels in decks that play to the board. Renin 7 sees plenty of play. Good. Go ahead and discard your card, friendo. Alright. Now you can have this one back. Anoma, thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. Do I ever play the shake-up events? Not usually. From a content perspective, they tend to not be popular in my experience. And our first time activating a creature land this session, I think it was. Help, help, I'm being duressed. They're just taking a peekaboo before they pack it in. Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. I think this is the best deck in the current meta. No, not even a little bit. And I would assume something like the Epiphany decks or Mono Green are the best decks. I think if you said, Jeff, what's the best deck for laddering up with? It's Mono Green, not close. The deck's super powerful and it wins games relatively quickly. If you look at the untapped data, and if you haven't, I'd encourage you to check out Meta Monday from yesterday. There's a variety of things that are reasonable in this format. If you're new to the channel, we're not really a best deck sort of stream. We try to play a variety of things here. Usually I play 2 or 3 different decks each day, trying to showcase different stuff. But Mono Green has consistently been both the most played and highest win rate deck on the ladder for a while now. Speaking of things that are the best. Hi, baby girl. You want to come say hi? Yeah. Ham it up. What you think? You help mommy carry lunch down? Yeah. Q-Wave high, baby girl. Let's give Daddy the fork. Whoop. Oh no, we want the fork real bad, chat. We want the fork real bad.
Haley, look over here. Haley, Haley, look, say hi.
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 Nope, we only want the fork, chat. Dad's chopped liver. Thank you.
Why'd you take her fork?
Why did I take the child's fork?
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye, baby girl. No, you just want the fork? Nope, yep, she knows where the fork is,
Give
Chip.
Daddy a kiss.
Poke me in the face and laugh. Yep, love you too. Baby girl. Probably the Grixis turn stack adventure, I guess. I guess they have a temple god dragon here. She's definitely dangerous with a fork. That's why. I'm gonna have plenty of time to eat my piece of pizza during this game, I would wager. The real webcam show off isn't the baby, it's the deep dish, chat. Chat, it's deep dish, and Christy just heated it up. It's all melty, gooey. I want to try and play a game while we're here. I want my hands to be all gross. Chicago pizza isn't pizza, it's lasagna with pie crust. I mean, you're not wrong. Alright, so that's an extra turn spell then, probably. This is, in fact, Giordano's Deep Dish. Good eye. This stream isn't sponsored or endorsed by Giordano's, but Giordano's, if you're out there, it certainly could be. Let's talk. Is Giordano's like Little Caesars? No, Giordano's is edible. This stream isn't sponsored or endorsed by Little Caesar, but Little Caesars, if you're out there, no, don't try. Hey, thanks for the submission, J-Ray. Is there a particular day you'd like to see that played, or just as soon as possible? Let me know. Yeet. Great. They have a removal spell here? Really? We're gonna need some decent hits off their deck or ours here. Deal. I mean, we're still technically dead on board, right? Little Caesars backs a dump truck full of money up to your house. You go outside and see what's beeping. What do you say now? I don't know. How big's the dump truck and how much? What kind of bills are we talking about? Two mana left over after I cast this. They already got rid of my flunks. Yeah, I think we have to just activate Cletus here, huh? I already used my Baleful. We're gonna go up to 7 when we pass the turn back to them, right? Because I haven't cast a spell this turn, technically. No, I cast Disruption. Shit. Yeah, we're just dead, right? Yikes. The stupid birds, man. Stupid birds. Okay, so I think we want Hermit. I think we want Soul Shatter. What time zone are you in, J-Ray? I can probably get some of it over your lunch break. Fading Hope doesn't seem too exciting against what their deck has going on. They don't have that many creatures. The old main deck test of talents here for the opponent. I don't have the Duresses in yet either. CST, sweet. Okay, I'll make it the second deck on the day that we play it, so some of it should be over your lunch break then. But it'll definitely end up on YouTube. Maybe I don't want these Trespassers. It doesn't attack into their 4/4s very well. Let's leave one of these in. It could tempo on occasion, and bouncing these in response to removal sounds fine. Think we hold on to Disruption for now on the play. We have 3 other lands. Yikes, that hurts. Hopefully they have a handful of counter spells, and our creatures are just going to beat them down here. Well, our hand has some hermits in it, Chip. This isn't a stock Grixis turns list that the opponent's playing, but this definitely does not feel very good. Definitely feels like we're the smaller fish here in this matchup. Attack and let them block so we get a flyer. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think it really matters. I think we're just dead. I don't have answers to these moon veils. So if we did find a piece of spot removal, it just like kills a hermit afterwards. We need to get a bunch more attacks in. Like even if we get flyers, we're just like chump blocking with them. We don't actually have a window to win the game. Their hand is full. The green matchup has felt very reasonable with this deck. The non-green matchups have kind of felt like a comedy of my answers don't line up into their things. Let's give it at least one more shake here, but basically every non-green matchup has felt hard, and the green matchups have felt close. So I don't know that I'm really seeing a strong, compelling reason to play this deck based on power level. It's like sweet when you get going, but it definitely feels like on the lower power end of the format. Seems pretty good. Probably... Oh, are we on the draw here? It looks like we're on the draw. Against turn 1 blue land. I'm actually excited to play against the non-green deck because I want to try and get more of a feel for what we look like in the non-green matchups. Like, hopefully they're playing dragons. Yeah, super agree with that, D-Canadian. A lot of the things I've talked about around Epiphany, people are like, well, mono green would dominate. I just don't think that's true. I think there's a lot of decks that can prey on mono green appropriately. That just like get chewed up and spat out by Buy the Epiphany decks. It's for the 7 months on Drake cards. Because, like, that's the format, right? It's like mono green, mono white, and Epiphany. And, like, you can play decks to try and prey on some of those. But you get squeezed by at least one of them. Why is mono white doing well? I'd encourage you to take a look at the Meta Monday video from yesterday. I think that summarizes a lot better than anything I can just off the cuff here. And go through some of the matchup breakdowns between some of the popular things. How likely is Ragavan to get banned in Modern? Who knows? I get to loot? Discard this power word kill here against the dragon's deck. Sign me up. All these bounce spells mean that even if this gets close to flipping, we'll just reset it. Ragavan won't be banned until after you buy your playset. Paper Magic mood. My number one advice to people buying Paper Magic cards is you should not spend money on Paper Magic that you're not okay having literally set on fire. So, like, if buying Ragavans and then them suddenly being worth $0 would put you out, do not spend your money on Ragavans. Viewing Magic as an investment engine is not a great place to be. Nice. So I get Duress here and then stick Lier if the coast is clear. Yeah, that's probably a good way to put it too. Treat it like a casino. Whatever money you're spending, consider it gone. And if you walk away from it up, just consider it upside. Don't use gambling as a form of investment. But then what am I supposed to do with my money that's currently in the stock market? Please advise. Yeah, this sleeve is great. Light it on fire? Please no. Put it into crypto. Yikes. I put my money into Pogs. Listen, Pogs are taking off. You laugh now, but my Pog collection and I are gonna make bank. Okay. The Dragons matchup seems really good when my opponent casts no spells and concedes. For people that are taking notes at home. How many ways do I want to kill dragons post-board? This is 8. Do I need all 8? This is 10. I probably don't need 10, huh? Maybe we'll get rid of the flunks. There's a chance they have enough cards this won't always kill the dragon anyways. Why don't I like crypto? There's a lot of reasons to not like crypto. A couple of these out. If you're looking for an investment, what is Artifact 2 coming out? A number of cryptocurrencies, asterisk, not all of them, but a lot of them use proof of stake, which requires a lot of computations to calculate, which means that a lot of CPU cycles are being wasted, both in terms of electricity and hardware acquisition to make crypto happen. Crypto is part of, not the only reason, but a chunk of why it's hard to get graphics cards for the last little while. Past the environmental considerations, because some have moved away from that, crypto at its core is largely an MLM marketing scheme, chat. The people who are making money off of crypto are only making money because they're convincing other people to put their money in. My favorite are the people that are like, see, crypto's not a scam, I turned a profit. It's like, yes, there's always someone that turns a profit in a scam. That's the point of a scam. Somebody made money off of it. Somebody got something out of it. There are a ton of pump and dumps in cryptos where people just like get other people to buy in and then cash out. It is a very easy grift. There are a number of things you could list as good things crypto could do. And in my opinion, in the current state, crypto's negatives far outweigh the small amount of positives it could be producing. You are welcome to disagree with that, but that has been the case so far from everything that I have seen. Our deck is busted, chat. 100% win rate in the Dragons matchup. If you're in a pyramid scheme, you want to be the pharaoh. Duress, too strong. Let's storm some dragons. Sounds good, Kesar. Thanks for the tip. Let me know if there's a particular day you'd like to see that on, or just as soon as possible. Thanks for the follow, Stinky Rat. What I understand from MLMs, they're money-making operations where everybody makes thousands of dollars a month working from home with no risk. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's getting rich. These 3 easy steps. Sand's a little risky, but we've got a lot of cheap interactions. I think we can hang out even if we stumble for a second and they give us something cheap to fading, hope we get a scry. Hand's probably not good against turn 1 opposing Shipwreck Marsh. We'll see. I'm gonna steal that, Moxane. That's a really concise way to put it. Blockchain was a solution looking for a problem, and since they couldn't find one, they invented it. It's a good punchy way to put it. Hell shoot. Thanks for the follow, Guts. This could be the actual factual mirror. Alright, chat, I've only got time for one more match, and playing a mirror match of this sounds rancid, so I'm gonna concede and go to the next one. Until we control mirrors were peak magic. This is more of a Jund mirror than a control mirror, and Jund mirrors suck. No, we're gonna play some Unite, Nukem. We're gonna be ending on Unite every day this week. We're gonna do a few hours of Magic and then a couple hours of Unite. I think we're probably gonna start a new variety game next week, but I'm thoroughly addicted to Pokemon Unite, so we're doing that every day again this week. I think RDW mirrors are sweet magic. Matches where your reach doubles as removal and the games become very interactive, especially in the post boards, is great. So, I don't know that I agree that it's like classic Jund, because in my mind, classic Jund plays like more cheap, efficient threats. But this isn't like a typical counterspell-based control deck. It's like a deck with discard spells that's looking to go over the top with big card advantage threats. And that could be splitting hairs on like what I'm classifying as a Jund deck based on the threats that it's playing, but the threat base doesn't feel super Jund-esque. Like there's not like a Tarmogoyf here, for example. Favorite meme deck? Probably Treasure Flare for Historic, right? That deck's awful, but it's hilarious. You played that last week. It's a good time. Just chilling on this disruption. They don't give us something to counter. We'll probably flunk the dog at end of turn. Or we'll flunk that one. I think we'll go ahead and kill their thing whilst holding up disruption here. They are definitely the splash negates green-red deck here, I would bet. I'm gonna Field of Rune here, so that way I can grab a second blue to set up Lier for next turn. Yeah, poor mid-range has gotten the short end of the fire design stick for sure, Durka. Is not an archetype that's had a good time in Magic in recent years. Yeah, Treasure Flare being basically all rare lands is not great for the wallet of the minnow players. Hey, your move, Yugi boy. This is my Lier. My Lier is amazing. No, don't deal 4 to Lier. Stop it. Sedge. My poor Lier, chat. This is a net deck caser. And honestly, I think the Siphon Insight blue-black decks we've played in the past on this stream feel a bit more reasonable than what this deck is doing overall. I've been pretty whelmed by this deck in all of the non-mono green matchups. I don't know. I don't know that Lier's powerful enough to be able to wait till 6 for it. A lot of the times we're in spots like this where we're behind on board, and if I'm not playing it there, we're just gonna get more behind on board. Yeah, and then just like, I don't have any sweepers here, right? So we're just like, just dead. We've played Siphon Insight Moonveil. We played Grixis Smoldering Egg. Was pretty reasonable at one point. It's one we'll get back around to eventually. Siphon Insight effectively being a draw 3 with Moonveil out is big game. The eerie silence while you wait for your opponent to sideboard. I'm just left alone with my thoughts and Twitch chat. It's a terrible punishment. Please, Magic Arena, make some noise. Keep me company. Not that I'd strictly call the format bad on the ladder. Like, there's a reason why I'm focusing on standard over historic. I think I prefer standard still. That's just, like, what you can brew with is just a little bit constrained as long as the Epiphany decks are kind of lording over the top of you. Right, I mean, this is technically a 3-lander, right? Yeah, the Azuria's tempo deck is really, really strong. The Azuria's tempo deck was really a great piece of innovation. It's pretty rare that, like, a new deck shows up like that and then has a good weekend. Because, like, in addition to the person playing it at Worlds, it was one of the 4 decks that had over 50% win rate on the weekend. Yeah, I feel you, Bacon. Honestly, the best piece of advice I can ever give anyone with a game like Arena, these kind of mobile games that string you along, is that if at any point you find yourself playing Arena or any other game, and the only reason you are logging in to play is because you feel compelled to keep up with the rewards, you should just take a break. That's such, from a psychological perspective, that's such a bad spot to be in. You should make sure you're enjoying yourself with your leisure time. Your leisure time is valuable. You only get so much of it. And I know that's easier said than done sometimes. Well, their hand is as bad as ours, so that's nice. So, like, when I get to that point with the game, I usually just uninstall it to save myself from logging in. What if it's less compelled and more, this is my daily routine now, and turning it off would screw me up? I'd encourage you to try other things. There's a ton of really great games out there. Just try something else. Like, we talked about Raid Shadow Legends earlier, and I played a ton of that game, and I played it into the ground, and I spent a small amount of money on it. Okay, not a small amount of money, a large amount of money on it. And by the end of it, once I'd completed everything, I was definitely just playing because I felt compelled to log in. And I don't mind the time I spent on it. I had fun playing the actual game, but eventually I just ran out of game to play. And it was okay, it's time to do something else. Do we play this land or do we loot? I think I want to loot. This is kind of like two loots in a way, right? Because I'm gonna pass the turn and then I get to loot again. No way, I feel like you also described my job. Well, I mean, jobs provide you the ability to live, ideally. Hey, we got a lot of goodies in here. This is going to get to be a Lier flashback, a Duress, hold up a bounce spell. Which is pretty good. He says before he gets disdainful stroked. These are a few of my favorite things. Hey, thanks, Dr. Mister. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I appreciate the feedback. Move this from one hand to the other here. Yeah, and just like that, I think we're in garbage time, right? Opponent agrees. My 3/4 that drew 8 cards closes the game out. That was commentary, this is feedback. Thanks for the biddies, Dr. Mister. I appreciate the support. go ahead and murder this. That way they can't Magda and go crazy. And then even if they have Magda or another ramp card here, we can Jwari Disruption a 4-drop next turn, so that's nice. If opponent is like Accelerant into a 3-drop, our Disruption becomes bad and that's awkward, but yeah, Naturalist. Oh no, chat, we can't cast a spell this turn. Oh no. Oh no. Cider Mills. I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna guess no, but I also don't leave my house that frequently. Leaving the house leads to the outside. Listen, the outside has always been scary, and for the last 2 years, it's been extra scary, champ. Yeah, we actually have, they call it the Constitution Trail in Bloomington where I live. That's like 42-ish miles of paved path, walking paths / biking paths. That's very nice. I can pick it up like 3 blocks from my house walking on a sidewalk. I guess we're just doing this, but it doesn't feel good. There's a cider mill in my town. I would believe you. Haley and I were walking buddies for a while, but unfortunately she's this big independent 16-month-old toddler now. So she's kind of hit or miss on whether or not she wants to actually sit in the stroller and let me walk with her. It's about a coin flip if she starts complaining after 10 minutes and wants to get out and run around herself. Really need to draw a removal spell here. Yes, we call the area where I live is called the Bloomington Normal Area, or BLONO for short. I think we did, fam. We can draw a sweeper next turn, but if we don't pick that up, we're probably just done here. Is there an abnormal area? Not near where I live. Gosh, and even if we draw the sweeper at this point, we're still just into the Lier of the Hydra from the treasure, right? Because of the Briar Bridge tracker. So, I want to start the wrap-up section for this deck with a piece of data. Dimir Control is the only deck in the most popular decks that are logged on Untapped that has a less than 50% win rate. And we've always chuckled about this when we've looked at it in the past, but after playing this set today, I really kind of get why it has that high play rate while also being kind of garbage. This deck was a lot of fun to play. I think we've been playing for over 3 hours. I think this is the longest I've ever played a deck that felt kind of this bad, if I'm being honest. Our matchup into mono... No, so actually, Fearburger, just to wrap up concisely, the matchup against mono green with this deck actually felt super reasonable and even good. The matchups against everything else felt super mediocre. That being said, I don't even know that our matchup against mono green is good enough to make up for how awkward we felt against other things. Against the selection of answers in this deck lined up into mono green quite reasonably. Even Duress is very good there, it feels like. But into decks that weren't mono green, we just had a lot of pretty typical, like, wrong half problems. The green deck we played got mana screwed in game 3. Will you stop it? We played mono green like half the matches in that set. All right, I'm gonna go look now because this lets me see. Untapped. Untapped says we went 2-1 against mono green. We played it 3 times. And one of the matchup that we lost, we flooded and died, which balances out the other one. From a game theory perspective, our sample size is still small there, but from a game theory perspective, I would not be surprised if this deck was ahead against mono green after seeing how those games played out. That being said, I would definitely add another Shadows Verdict to the sideboard. The games against mono green where we saw a Shadows Verdict were so much easier than the games where we didn't. I think you definitely want a third. As for the obvious question after that, how can you fix the other matchups? I don't know that you can. Being an answer deck against decks like the Epiphany decks in the format is just really not where you want to be in life. Like, beating down the Epiphany decks is the way that you beat them, and I don't think this deck, even with these 7 creatures in the sideboard, can reasonably pivot into a beatdown role in those matchups, especially in the Dragon Epiphany matchups where, like, you have to strike this balance between applying pressure and also answering their threats before they run away with the game. So I think this deck is fun. I think if you like a control deck like this and you want to stuff mono green, this is a fine choice. You could even edge it slightly more to improve your mono green matchup, but I think if you don't like losing to Epiphany and don't just want to concede that matchup, I think this would not be a great choice.